Hello, I'm Kate Bowers. This is Sam Fisher, and our CS109 final project is understanding contraceptive usage in the United States with behavioral survey data as predictors of contraceptive use. So the question that we're asking here is, what are the socioeconomic and health-related factors that affect whether someone uses birth control? In particular, what is the causal effect of race and ethnicity on contraceptive usage? The 2022 Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System survey from the CDC is the data set that we're using here, which asks, the last time you had sex, did you do anything to prevent becoming pregnant? So this is a really important question at the moment in public health, as we find higher unintended pregnancy rates among racial minorities. So looking at our data set here, we started with over 400,000 participants in the BRFSS dataset, which was then strongly limited when we filtered for participants who had answered the contraceptive question. This is only participants of female sex under a certain age, and this question was only asked in some states. We further filtered on this to remove participants with any permanent birth control, participants who are pregnant, and only select participants who do not want to become pregnant. So with this filtered data set, we had about 13,000 data points to look at. For each of these data points, we have 331 questions or variables asked. We selected around 40 of these as potential predictors and one-hot encoded their categorical responses.
From those 40 predictors, we needed to distill a smaller feature space to avoid overfitting and also so that our model would be easily interpretable. The algorithm that we constructed for selecting a smaller group of features is very similar to that of building a decision tree. So we first select the single predictor, which creates the greatest increase in the AUC. And then we add each next best incremental predictor that has the highest marginal increase in AUC when it's added to the existing set of predictors. This continues iteratively until you reach a gain in AUC that's less than 0.03, or you run out of predictors to consider.
So the logistic regression model trained on these 10 selected predictors had moderate predictive power, we see from the AUC values, and it did not appear to be significantly overfit. With this, we consider an average participant shown here. If we were to modulate these values, make the participant black instead of white, the predicted contraceptive use would be 4% lower. If we were to make them have three or more children instead of 0 children, they would be 0.2% more likely to use contraception.
The next step we took was really to take a closer look at race as a factor in predicting contraceptive use, but we wanted to understand the causal effect of race as opposed to just the observed one. So we built a propensity scoring model for race, and then we used the propensity scores to construct a matched data set and measured the disparities in the matched data set in contraceptive use as contrasted with the overall observed disparities in contraceptive use.
We tried both a logistic regression model and a random forest model and found that the logistic regression model performed much better. In this, we found that there were 2 predictors, both state and education, which were strong confounders of race.
From doing this causal analysis, we found that surprisingly, the causal effect of race on contraceptive use is in most cases larger than the observed difference when not controlling for any of the confounding factors. This led us to the interpretation that there were within group cultural differences or community differences, which were actually being masked by some of the other socioeconomic and geographic features in the data set.
Regarding contraceptive use, we found that age, race, and income jointly predict contraceptive use very well. Looking towards future work, we hope that analyses like this one can be used to improve contraceptive access across communities in America, increasing availability and education about contraceptives, and encouraging conversation and connection regarding sexual health.
Going forward, it would be interesting to compare different methods of estimating the causal effects we showed here to ensure that the estimated causal effects aren't just a byproduct of specific choices we made about how to model them and are actually consistent across methodologies.
That's all. Thank you.